Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj and today I'm going to give you the Capper Comparison Picks for the UFC Vegas 35 main events, meaning we've got the main event fight between Edson Barbosa and Giga Chikadze. Then we got the two Ultimate Fighter Championship fights from the tough tournament there. We're going to have the bantamweight fight between Ricky Turcios and Brady Hiestand, and also we have the middleweight championship between Bryan Gilbert Urbina. Be sure to check out the other videos I did this week. I covered every other fight that is on the UFC Vegas 35 card with different cappers for every show. So go ahead, definitely check those out. After I put the capper picks, I put my picks. Yesterday, because two of the fights were so chalky, I brought out prop bets and put some made them all plus money. But anyway, I didn't print out the prop bets for these because they're not that chalky. They're all within 100 points of each other, relatively speaking. So let's get on with this without further ado. We're gonna start out with the UFC the Ultimate Fighter Tough Tournament Bantamweight Championship fight between Ricky Turcios and Brady Hiestand. Ricky Turcios, Hadouken, that's his nickname, comes in as the favorite. He's got a professional fighting record of 10-2. He's a minus 154 favorite. That dropped. It used to be a minus 175 favorite, so that means money's been coming in on Brady Hiestand, right? Because they're trying to make Ricky Turcios a little bit more attractive. Brady Hiestand 5-1. He came in, opened up at minus one or plus 145 underdog. Now payout is not as good, but he's still a plus number at plus 134 for the younger gentleman in Brady Hiestand. Speaking of the age, Ricky Turcios 28. Brady Hiestand 22. It's a young buck right there. All right, let's talk about the favorite first. Ricky Turcios, Hadouken, is coming off in the tournament, which those fights are not listed on Tapology, but he had a unanimous decision win over Ludwig Ludwig Shalinian. But outside of the tournament, he's coming off a win against Caleb Peterite by armbar in round 2. That was in Fury FC. He trains out of Gracie Baja Woodlands. That is Alex Morono's gym, Great White in Houston. But he has in the past trained out of Alpha Male also. Ricky's got a 1-inch height advantage, and his opponent, he's taking on the young Brady Hiestand. Brady Hiestand in the tournament, his last fight he knocked out Vince Murdoch, who was almost in the UFC before. I think he might have even had a fight in the UFC, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But before that, before that in the tournament, he had a great fight against Josh Reddinghouse. Josh Reddinghouse is known from European regional scene. I guess he's fought in like a Russian regional scene. But interesting, Brady Hiestand took Josh Reddinghouse down 6 times that fight. But however, outside the tournament, can crush him, because I guess from what I heard, if you look at his pro fights, his opponent's combined record come to 1-24. Not good look. However, those two tough tournament fights, from what I understand, kind of make up for that, especially the win against Josh Reddinghouse, and then after that, the nice TKO over Vince Murdoch. Brady is a BJJ brown belt out of Sick Jitsu. That is in Spokane, Washington. That's where Michael Chiesa is out of that same facility. Outside the UFC, he's coming off a rear naked choke round 1 win over Shane Sargent. And that was in a promotion called Conquest of the Cage for Brady. Bam Bam Hiestand. Okay, let's take a look at these, what the cappers have to say on this one. Lucky for you, I got way too many cappers. I don't know, I just got a little out of control, a little out of hand. I just kept writing them down as I didn't want to leave anybody out. So yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different cappers to cover all 3 of these fights. So let's get right down to it. Starting with Ricky Turcios, I have to write a little bit smaller than usual to accommodate all these cappers. We've got Pub Sports Radio, that is Clint Diehard MMA podcast. Lags the capper was his special guest. However, Lags passed on this fight. He did not have a pick for this fight. However, Clint did, and Clint is going with Ricky Turcios here. Then we've got Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics, the Bulgarian Cowboy, my boy. He's I'm a mod on his channel for his live chat, so don't F with me because I will ban you quick as shit. I'm just playing. Like, I really don't get, ruthless anything. Other mods, he's made other people mods. Otis, BC Dave, those guys sometimes take advantage of their power, and they purposely suspend people for the 300 seconds and stuff just because they don't agree with them. It's funny, it's comical, I like it. But anyway, Vlad is taking Ricky Turcios. Then we've got Greedo from Greedo Plays. Greedo also taking Turcios by decision. You see how this is starting to play out, right? MMA Prediction Guru, the one from California, not the one from the UK. He's also taken Hadouken by decision. We've got both the brothers from Fight Night Picks, Matt and Craig Allen, in agreement. I think I guess they were in agreement with every single fight on this card, which is kind of a rarity. They usually at least have a difference in opinion, at least on one of them, but in this card, they agreed on every single fight together. And finally, we've got Dev the Dude, and on his program, he had a guest, and a guy, his mate, Sel, S-E-L, and both, in this case, both Dev and Sel, both are taking Hadouken by decision to get it done, get the victory over Ricky Hiestand. Now, this would normally be a full capper consensus. However, we do have some contrarian pickers. We've got What's Going On, Bleed MMA. I have mad respect for Bleed MMA. The guy knows what he's talking about. I'm a patron of his. I do support his channel through being a Patreon subscriber. I pay the monthly fee. I think it's affordable. It's maybe $10 or something, whatever. Also, we've got UFC Bro Picks. And UFC Bro Picks, is that right? Oh man, you know what? I think I messed up. Shoot. Well, UFC Bro, I think I left somebody out. I'm gonna have to UFC Bro Picks. UFC Bro Picks, he said he is confident with this and he's taken Brady Hiestand by sub. Man, I want to say I looked at Let's Talk MMA with Dave Longoria too. And I want to say Dave Longoria, this was his most confident pick on the card. I could be confused. I wrote it down as I wrote it down. UFC Bro Picks, taking Hiestand by sub. He is confident with that decision. He's saying he's taking it because of the 6 takedowns over Josh Reddinghouse. He was impressed with that. And Turcios in the UFC Fighter House, even though he won, he did get taken down easily by weaker opponents than Brady Hiestand. So that is UFC Bro Picks. That's his reasoning behind his confident pick of this Brady Hiestand to beat Ricky Turcios as the underdog. And you know what? I'm going with the same thing because of UFC Bro Picks. The links will be in the description. I urge all you guys to definitely check all these cappers out. Subscribe to them, support them. They put hard work into these breakdowns and predictions. They should be rewarded for that hard effort. So I'm also going to take Brady Hiestand. He is the BJJ brown belt and he's plus money. So I'm going to take the underdog in Brady. Originally, my pick was Ricky Turcios. Like I told you, a fresh mod, that's before you do any research, just off the top of your head, who are you going to pick? I picked Ricky Turcios because I've heard of him before. But then as I did a little research, did a little watching of the cappers, despite everybody taking Turcios, nobody really had anything bad to say against Hiestand. He's younger and he's got less experience. Obviously, Turcios has double the amount of fights he has. However, I do like that he's a BJJ brown belt fighting out of Chikadze. And I'm going to go with the underdog pick here to win the championship in the bantamweight division for Ultimate Fighter. I think it's going to happen via submission also. So there you have it. Underdog pick. Sorry, can't take this. All right. Moving on. Next, we have the other Ultimate Fighting Championship bout for the middleweight championship. We've got Bryan Battle taking on Gilbert Urbina. Okay, Bryan Battle, he comes in, he's the favorite here. Minus 175. That did, when I originally wrote these odds down a couple days ago, he was 165, so moved up a little bit, meaning money's been coming in on him. Urbina was at a plus 140. He is now a plus 150. Thus, even emphasizing a little more that Bryan Battle has money coming in on him, making the line move just a little bit, 10 points. Okay, Bryan Battle is coming off, he had a round 2 submission over Andre Petrovsky, who is also on this card in the tournament. And outside the tournament, Pooh Bear beat a guy, Ben Fowler, by rear naked choke round 2 in 4R MMA, which is a Kentucky regional thing. Interesting note, Bryan Battle was the last pick on the Tough Show, the Ultimate Fighter show. By the way, these are all Volkanovski fighters. Bryan Battle was supposed to go against Tresean Gore, who was the only Ortega fighter. But Tresean Gore hurt his knee, so even though he knocked out Urbina, Urbina filled in because the injury to Tresean Gore. But it's still going to be a pretty decent fight. Let me explain why. Urbina is the third Urbina brother to come into the Ultimate Fighter. In the past, there's been Hector and Eli. Both obviously did not make it into the UFC, but they were both on the Ultimate Fighter show. Gilbert Urbina, despite his knockout with Tresean Gore, which I guess they're not considered professional fights until the final for some reason. They're like exhibition or something because they're not on Tapology. His 6-1 record, that one loss is against Sean Brady, the undefeated fighter out of Philadelphia. So, I mean, there's no shame in that. And that was a unanimous decision loss. So he went the distance with Sean Brady. Outside the tournament, his last fight, though, he did win. It was in Combate. He won against Angelo Trevino by decision. And he fights out of the BMF Ranch. That's where D-Rod and Cowboy Cerrone are both fighters that are fighting out of that same place in New Mexico. Okay, now let's see what these cappers have to say about these two fighters taking Bryan battle. We've got both the brothers from Fight Night Picks, Matt and Craig. Craig is saying by decision. Matt just is taking the side. Then we've got Dev, the dude, and his boy Cell, also taking Bryan battle. Dev said this is his one of his locks. He's got like 7 confident lock picks, if you will, on the card. This is one of those. So I'll write lock right here. Cell is pretty confident too. Call him battle. He's got him by knockout over Urbina. We've got UFC bro picks. Also taking Bryan battle. He really didn't specify the method, but he is on the side of Bryan battle here. We got the MMA prediction guru. Cred Guru is saying KO TKO round 2. We've got UFC celebrities and classics. My boy Vlad also taking Urbina. Also taking Bryan battle. What's going on? It's Bleed. Also taking Bryan battle. You see how this is going. And Pub Sports Radio, Clint is taking. Once again, this is another one. Lags, the capper, passed. He did not make a pick on this. This should be another one that's a full capper consensus. However, we have a contrarian picker. Greedo plays. Greedo is taking Bryan, or Gilbert Urbina to get the victory over Bryan battle at the plus 150, which is good, but I can't. Oh, he's also saying it's going to happen by decision, which it very, very likely could, but I'm not going to go against all the majority of the cappers on this one. I have to go with the favorite in Bryan battle, only because of recency bias. I guess Gilbert Urbina, that when he got knocked out by Tresean Gore from the Fight Night pick, Matt Allen said prior to getting knocked out, he was knocked down like 4 times by a jab. That's not a good look. So, and plus, he really shouldn't be there anyway because Tresean Gore knocked him out. So what if he wins? He's gonna be the winner of Ultimate Fighter after suffering a knockout. I mean, I don't see it happening. That's why I'm gonna go with Bryan battle. I mean, it could happen. It could be it's a trap. I mean, it could be. But I'm going to go with Bryan Battle with the majority of the cappers. I think he should be able to get it done via TKO just by recency bias. We'll say round 2 to make that plus money. So there you have that. And moving on, finally, we're at the main event. We've got, this is going to be a good one. Most likely fight of the night. Or not, I don't know. Because I also like that Kevin Lee D-Rod fight too. That might be fight of the night, I think. But, and this we have Edson Barbosa, Junior Edson Barbosa taking on Ninja Giga Chikadze. Like I said earlier, this is the second Ninja on the card because who's the old guy from Argentina, curtain opener, what's his name? He's also a Ninja, and that is Guido Canetti is also nicknamed Ninja, as well as the Georgian Ninja, Giga Chikadze. Okay, let's start. This is interesting because these guys flip-flopped odds. They're both negative number odds. This is a very coin flippy fight. But when I first wrote down the odds, Barbosa was minus 105, Chikadze was minus 115. Now on Bet Online, I just looked at, and they're flop. Now Barbosa is the slight favorite to win at minus 115. Chikadze is still minus number, but he's minus 105, so it's still pretty much a coin flip fight. 4.5 rounds. If you think it's going to go the distance, you get paid out plus money, plus 100 to even money, meaning your $100 will win $100. If you think it's going to go under, you have to put up 130 to win 100. But let's get into this. Okay, Edson Barbosa, the new favorite. Junior is coming off a win, a great win, 3rd round knockout of Shane Burgos. However, in his last 5, he is unfortunately 2-3 in his last 5. The Brazilian fights out of the American Top Team and the Armory. The Armory has Marlon Moraes. American Top Team has a ton of people. I don't even want to get into it. But Junior Barbosa, the Brazilian, he's prime, man. He's great. 35 years old. Chikadze is 33, so age not a factor. They're within 2 years of each other. No big deal. Let's talk about the Georgian Ninja Giga Chikadze. 13-2 as a professional. He did, however, there is a lot of cans in his previous record. I think he's coming off a knockout ground pound win in the 1st round over Cub Swanson. He is on an 8-fight win streak. There's couple other decent, like an Ern Rivera's in there, Omar Morales, Brandon, what's his name? There's a couple decent fighters, but no one like Barbosa's taken in his tapology, his fight resume. He's gone against much better fighters. But regardless of that, Giga Chikadze is on an 8-fight win streak. He hasn't lost since, I want to say, I didn't write it down, but I want to say like 2015 or 2016 was the last time he lost. He is fighting out of King's MMA with the likes of active fighters. Marvin Vettori is going to be, he fights out of King's MMA. He's fighting Paulo Costa soon. And also RDA Rafael Dos Santos out of King's MMA is gearing up to fight Islam Makhachev. So, couple active fighters coming out of King's MMA. You would imagine that they, if they're within the same couple, within a weight class of each other, they should be working. I don't know. That's just my train of thought. So, let's get into this with the cappers, see what they have to pick here. This is a close one, guys. Really close. Starting with the favorite, we've got the MMA prediction guru, The one from California, not the one with the beanie. He's saying TKO in the 4th. TKO 4th round. Like I said, all the links will be in the description. I urge you guys to check these guys out. Then we've got, we'll jump over here. We've got Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. This one he told me on a live stream because he wanted, well, it was this one. Vlad was like, oh, you make me pick a side. I don't want to pick a side, but I guess. But this one, he had the side picked. He's like, oh, Renz, you're going to hate me? I don't know why, but he's like, but I'm taking Chikadze. And I replied, hey, man, I don't hate. As long as you pick a side, Vlad. And he's taking Chikadze. Then we've got Bleed MMA, also jumping on Edson Barbosa's side because of the experience and the quality of his fighters that he's fought in the past. We've got UFC Bro Picks over here taking Chikadze. Then we've got Pub Sports Radio, and this is interesting. This one, Lags did not pass on. We got Clint taking Barbosa slightly. Lags is so confident. Lags thinks the odds should be minus 170 for Barbosa. That's what he said on the show. He's like, the betting lines are out of whack. It shouldn't be that close. Barbosa should be a plus or minus 170 favorite. So Lags pretty confident in Barbosa. That did sway me a little bit, I will admit. Then back over here, we've got Greedo from Greedo Plays, and Greedo is saying a knockout for Chikadze in the 4th, into the championship rounds. Then we've got interesting. Dev and his boy Cell are split on this. Cell is taking Barbosa, however, Dev the dude is taking Chikadze TKO round 4, just like Greedo. So, yeah, also thinking Chikadze, they're betting on they're counting on his cardio to outlast. If you're taking a fighter in the championship rounds, you're pretty much picking him to last longer via cardio than his opponent. That's how I see that. Then we've got the tiebreaker. We've got Fight Night picks. Both of them, like I said, they agreed on every single fight on this card, and both of them are taking Barbosa. Fight Night picks, Matt and Craig Allen, both taking Edson Jr. Barbosa to beat Giga Ninja Chikadze. And I too am taking Edson Barbosa because the same reasons. He's got the better resume, he's went through a lot better opponents. He doesn't really have, there's some cans. Chikadze, there's a can on there that he beat, has like a 2-12 record or something, and that was within the last, I think, 7 fights he beat this. I don't know. It's just I'm not impressed. I think the best guy he beat was Cub Swanson. That's not saying that much. A later Cub Swanson, not the Cub Swanson that was like a contender, an older kind of going down the hill Cub Swanson. So that's why I'm taking Edson Barbosa here. And plus, I will say, Lags the Capper from Pub Sports Radio Show, Clint's guest, influenced me when he said, he goes, I'm surprised these lines are so close. It should be a minus 170 for Edson Barbosa. And I was like, man, that dude, he passed on this fight. This one he's confident with. Lags influenced me. I'm going to take Barbosa. I think it's going to go to decision though. And I got Barbosa winning the decision here. So to recap, I think Nora went to bed. So to recap, time check. Let's see where I'm at with all these cappers. Oh, right on point. So to recap, I've got the upset, Brady Hiestand upsetting Ricky Turcios, I don't even know how to say that, by submission using his BJJ brown belt and that he's got from Sick Jitsu, and his I think he's got superior wrestling over Turcios with those 6 takedowns over what's that guy's name again? Josh Reddinghouse. Ricky's tournament wins were both by unanimous decision. Hiestand's tournament wins, he knocked out Vince Murdoch, and the whole thing with Josh Reddinghouse, which I forgot how he won, but I know it was a pretty impressive fight. I didn't watch it. I told you I didn't watch The Ultimate Fighter. I just don't have time. But from what I've heard from the cappers, so that's why I'm going with plus money, taking Ricky, or taking Brady Hiestand. Then I'm got, with the majority of the cappers, going with the favorite here, Bryan battle, because of recency bias on Gilbert Urbina getting knocked out by Tresean Gore. He shouldn't really even be there, but Tresean Gore has that injury, so there you go. However, this could be a shock. I could be eating my words because Gilbert Urbina might see this as, second chance. Hey, second chance opportunity to get that, was a 6-figure contract with the UFC. He might go put it all in, everything he's got, and might come out the winner. It's a fight, you never know. But I'm picking Battle, and I think Battle should get it done. Second round TKO. The guy's smooth. He's well-rounded. From what my understanding is, like I said, I really don't know about these Ultimate Fighter guys, but except for what I've researched, I didn't watch it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna go with the majority there and take Battle. And finally, I do know about these guys, and I'm taking Edson Barbosa to get the decision victory over Giga Chikadze. I'm pretty confident about that because of lags and what he said. I could just be falling into a big propaganda thing yeah, I got Barbosa because of his quality of opponents in his past. So there you have it. Gather the info, place the bets, and cash those tickets. I appreciate you guys watching. Give me that thumbs up. Go ahead and fill the comments with who you think's gonna win these fights. I know a lot of you are gonna think I'm crazy for taking a Hiestand here over the multiple cappers that are taking Rick Turcios, but I don't know, something's telling me the youngster is gonna do it. Also, another point is people are saying even if he does win, he'll get a second shot, being that he's only 22. But so what? I think he's gonna win it this year, like as a youngster. So anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave comments. Good luck on these bets. And tomorrow, while I'm still rolling tape, BC Dave, I usually do live stream after weigh-in show with BC Dave. He is preoccupied. He said he'll be on the road traveling someplace, it's fine. So I'm gonna start the show by myself, but I did contact a special guest handicapper, so you guys tune in and you should probably be able to see him. I asked him to be on the show, and he said he's kind of ill-prepared because he didn't research a lot of these fights, except for he does have some picks on a couple of the fights throughout the card, but the other ones he's not. I tried to ease his nervousness, and I was like, dude, it's a discussion. Just tell me your leans, what you're feeling, just help me make these parlay bets with the chat room. Not a big deal. But so anyway, I may do the show by myself, or if he feels comfortable enough, he might take the invite and be with me. Tune in tomorrow to find out who that is. I'll be on probably 7:30-ish Eastern time with a after weigh-in discussion. and bets. Okay, so tune in for that. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.